First up, we head to Valigrunt. The VG jet is back from Donburn Customs, and the guys at Hemi Performance have delivered some cutting-edge parts to get the assembly started. Then, we get an insight into the final look of the build from automotive artist Chris Cross.
The car's come back from Donburn Customs. Now we've got to pull all the front end out and strip it clean, and then send everything across to Heath to get blasted and powder coated. Wheels have to come off, the discs have to come off. Also too, we've got to remove the calipers, brake lines, we've got to remove the top suspension arms, we've got to remove the lower suspension arms, the radius rods, torsion bars, everything. We've got to remove everything and then remove the K-frame. Once we've removed all those bits and pieces, then we have to pull them all apart, clean them, send them off to get blasted and powder coated.
So here we've got a 1970 VG Coupe. Now Shane and Amy had this car for over 20 years. It's been sitting in their garage waiting for the right person to come along and finally give it a new slice of life. Now this particular car is going to get a full restoration and it's going to get completely restyled into that resto mod look. So they're going to change the wheels, they're going to change a few of the aspects of the bonnet, the roof, and we're going to change the decals on the side as well, but also keeping it into that classic muscle car look. So a pretty cool concept that we're doing with this particular VG Valiant is we're going to turn it into a bit of a resto mod look. Now, like I said, the client wants this to look a little bit different than what it did originally. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a slight pro touring but classic muscle car look. By doing that, we're going to use a set of wheels called Indie Dragsters, or otherwise known in Australia as jelly beans. Now these are a very common wheel seen in the Valiants, or at least in the Mopar cars. So we're going to be using those wheels, so we're going to put a nice big set of fat tires on the back and some skinnier ones on the front, and the whole car is going to be dropped with a really nice, suitable stance. Now, not only that, we're also going to be using a bunch of satin black accents throughout the whole car to really give this car a classic Mopar look. So we're going to be running a satin black bonnet with a satin black roof, and we're going to be doing some really special stripes down the side.
The big gear wrench hammer, so we'll give it a bit of a whack. Oh, you still haven't done that. We're going to get the oxy, we're going to come out and we're going to cut all these sections off here to remove all the front end. No.
You want to hit it?
Yeah, what? Oh, you have a go. The other side was.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Just don't hit me in the face. Ruin my good look. Some nuffies put a 13mm nut on this Valiant. That's what we wanted. We're pulling the K-frame out now, and as per usual, look at me, spotlessly clean. So I don't get dirty. Only Amy gets dirty. So the process now is to hot tank the K-frame, just to make sure that there's no rubbish inside it. And then after that, we get it zinced. That way it's rust-proofed inside. After it's zinced, then it goes to Heath and he puts an acid etch on the outside of the zinc so the powder coat can stick, and then he powder coats the frame any choice of colour that customer wants.
Now the drawing's all finished up. Now the guys at Valigrunt have definitely got their hands full on this project. I've drawn up a concept now where we can see all the different color options that we're going to be using, the stripes, the stance, and a couple of aspects that have slightly been changed to go with the whole look. As you can see, we've blacked out the bonnet, blacked out the roof, and we've got a satin black stripe running along the side, just like we had designed earlier on. Also, these particular front ends on the VIPs had a chrome grille that went inside the middle. We've blacked that out as well and blacked out the inserts of the headlights just to go with the rest of the look. Now, as far as blacking out goes, there is a little bit more. Now, inside the jelly bean wheels, we've also put a satin black finish inside there just to go with the flow of the rest of the car. Now, all together with the fat tires on the back, the skinnier ones on the front, and the stripe, this is definitely going to be one hell of a build, and it's going to be a one-off. I personally haven't seen a Valiant Regal look like this before, so I cannot wait to see what the guys at Valigrunt do.
Hemi Performance has been around for a long time. They've got a massive range and a massive team to get the parts out on time. They're expanding at the moment. They're building bigger warehouses and setting up to have more stock and more parts. And they're absolutely fantastic. I've been dealing with them for over 35 years. With the parts that Hemi Performance have, we're going to be putting on all the door handles, rubbers, and all the little bits and pieces that most people forget about when they restore a car. When you're restoring a car, you need things like clips, rubbers, bits and pieces. If you haven't got the trims, well, they can supply some of the trims. They have a range of some second-hand parts as well as new old stock, as well as new reproduction parts as well. When we built the Cuda, they had all the panels and all the bits and pieces that we needed to build the Cuda. They had all the lenses, they had rear quarter panels, boot floor, rear valance, rear filler panel, all the bits and pieces on the back of the car that was severely rusted, they had all brand new, ready to go. So today what we're going to do, we're going to start putting things like rubbers and door handles into the car, so that way as we open and close the doors, we don't damage the paint that's already there. So we're just putting all the gaskets on the handles. These are reproduction door handles from Hemi Performance. All right, first one in, here we are. Done.